I used to think the more stuff we had, the more prepared we were. Extra sheets, backup mugs, a drawer full of hotel shampoos. It all felt responsible somehow. Until one day, I realized I was spending more time managing my just-in-case life than the actual life in front of me. That's the part no one warns you about. Minimalist living isn't just about letting go of clutter. It's about noticing how much of your time, energy, and self-worth gets tied up in things you don't even use. Not because you're messy, but because the default way we're taught to run a home leaves us overwhelmed and constantly behind. In this video, I'll walk you through 22 everyday things I no longer keep in our home. Not to be extreme, but to show what happens when you stop organizing around what's normal and start organizing around what's useful. If you've ever looked around and wondered why it all still feels like too much, even after decluttering, this one's for you. Things that add clutter while trying to be useful. 1. Storage baskets. Every time my space felt messy, I used to buy more baskets. Cute bins, trays, organizers, thinking they'd fix the clutter. But they just hid stuff I didn't actually need. Now, I declutter first. If there's something worth keeping that has no home, then I'll find a way to store it. But I don't buy storage just to cover up excess. Organizing is not the same as owning less. 2. Laundry hampers. If you're constantly stepping around piles of laundry or waiting for the right time to fold, this might hit home. We used to have laundry baskets in every room. They made sense, or at least they looked like they did. But over time, they became holding zones for procrastination. Clean clothes sat there unfolded. Dirty clothes got lost. It was one more layer between done and put away. So we tried something different. We removed the baskets completely. Now, everyone just brings their laundry straight to the washer. No in-between steps. And when it's dry, it gets folded and put away on the same day. Not because we're super organized, but because there's no place to stash it and forget. This shift simplified everything. No more collecting hampers. No more laundry piles pretending they're almost done. Just one small friction removed, and a surprising amount of relief. 3. Duplicate utensils. When you're cooking and can't find the right spatula, chances are you have too many, not too few. For years, we had drawers full of extra tools. 3 flippers, multiple whisks, a mess of measuring spoons. And somehow, it didn't make cooking easier. It made finding anything harder. Now we have one of each. One good spatula, one pair of tongs, one whisk. They're the ones we actually use, clean, and reach for every day. Limiting your tools doesn't make you less prepared. It just makes the drawer easier to close, and your brain a little quieter. 4. Backup clothes. At one point, I had reading glasses in 4 different drawers, and still couldn't find a pair when I needed them. Now I keep one, and I keep it where I actually use it. Same with sunglasses. I invested in one pair I like, and I take care of them because I know they matter. It's not about owning less, just to own less. It's about making what you have feel worth keeping. 5. Excess linens. More towels sounds practical, until they're piled in the laundry, spilling from cabinets, or left on every hook. We keep it simple. 1 towel per person, plus 1 extra. That's it. It's enough for daily life, and it makes laundry more predictable. You don't need a backup for every backup. You need a system that works, even when life is full. 6. Reusable grocery bags. I kept buying cute canvas or foldable grocery bags thinking I'd use them every time I shop. But 9 times out of 10, I forget them in the car. Or worse, at home. Now, I keep one strong foldable bag in my everyday purse. Just one. Buying more eco bags, part 2. Things that try to inspire but cause guilt and Unread books I used to keep shelves of books I'd already read, or meant to read someday. But instead of inspiring me, they started to feel like quiet reminders of things I hadn't finished. Now, I keep only the few I truly love, the ones I reach for again and again. Everything else lives on my Kindle app or gets borrowed from the library. It's not about denying myself stories. It's about creating space for the ones that still mean something to me. If your shelves are packed, try this. Pull out 5 books you'd lend to a friend tomorrow, the ones you actually think about. Those are your keepers. The rest? Let them move on. You're not losing ideas. You're letting go of the noise around them. 2. Recipe guilt. I used to collect cookbooks like they were inspiration, but over time, they became a source of quiet pressure, a reminder of all the meals I should be making, but wasn't. Now I search recipes online when I need them, and I only save the ones I've tried and liked. No more shelves of guilt. No more flipping through pages looking for something that fits the groceries I actually have. If your cookbooks make you feel creative, keep them. But if they make you feel behind, they're not helping. Inspiration shouldn't feel like an obligation. 3. Old planners. There's a strange guilt that comes with tossing out an old planner, as if those pages are proof we lived intentionally, even if we barely looked back at them. But for most of us, they're not keepsakes. They're silent to-do lists we already finished, or never got to. I used to keep mine in a drawer, just in case, but honestly, I never opened them again. Now, when a year ends, the planner goes. If there's something I want to remember, a birthday, a note to myself, a milestone, I write it into a digital calendar or snap a photo. The rest doesn't need to follow me. Letting go of old planners doesn't erase your memories. It just gives your mind a little more quiet. 4. Past hobby clutter. That pair of jeans that almost fits. The blazer for a job you don't want. The dress for a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. I kept them all for years, thinking I was being practical. But really, they were just quiet reminders that who I am now wasn't enough. Now I only keep clothes I wear in my actual life, not my imagined one. If it doesn't fit my body or my schedule, I let it go. You don't need a closet full of someday. You need a wardrobe that works for today. 5. Someday workout gear. There's a whole category of clutter we keep, not for today, but for a future we're not even sure we want. The workout gear for when we finally get back into it. The party platters for when we host more. The decor for the house we might move into someday. But here's what I've learned. The life you're actually living deserves the most space. So I stopped organizing around what-ifs. I keep what I use, what I love, and what makes daily life smoother. The rest? I trust I'll figure it out if that day ever comes. 6. Unused palettes. I used to buy big palettes thinking I'd experiment. But I wear the same 2 neutral shades every day, and the rest stayed untouched. Now I don't buy full palettes. If I need a color, I buy it single. Most days, I don't even wear eyeshadow. And I definitely don't need 18 purples to remind me I won't. 7. Dusty beauty tools. There was a phase where I bought every trendy beauty device I saw online. Face steamers, gua sha tools, LED masks, pore vacuums. Half of them hurt my skin. The rest just sat in drawers after 2 uses. Now I ask myself, do I actually use this more than once a week? If not, I don't buy it. Most of the time, my hands, a cold spoon, or a damp cloth do the same job. It's easy to fall for routines that look relaxing, but buying the tool isn't the same as building the habit. And honestly, clear skin usually comes down to sleep, food, and not overdoing it. 8. Pretty bottles I don't use. Every time I saw a cute color or a limited edition water bottle, I bought it. But in the end, I always reach for the same one, the one. Part 3. Things that just take up space. 1. Mugs I never reach for. If you open your kitchen cabinet and get hit with a cluttered wall of mugs, you're not alone. Most of us hang on to coffee cups we don't use because they're cute or sentimental. But when every shelf is packed, even making tea feels crowded. Here's what helped. I kept 1 mug I love for daily use and 2 for guests. That's it. Now every time I open the cupboard, it's calm. There's space. I don't waste energy deciding which one to reach for. You don't need to let go of every mug. Just let the useful ones lead. If a mug makes you smile, keep it. If it makes you feel guilty or overwhelmed, it's not helping. 2. Spare sheets I ignore. It sounds harmless, a few extra sheet sets, just in case. But here's what actually happens. They pile up in closets, get mismatched, or sit there unused for years. And when laundry day comes, we still go back to the same 2 we like. Now we keep 1 extra set per bed. That's it. If something's in the wash, we have a backup. No overthinking, no linen closet chaos. The goal isn't to limit comfort. It's to remove the layers of just in case that create more mess than ease. 3. Single-use gadgets. That banana slicer? Gone. The avocado saver? Never worked. We all pick up niche kitchen gadgets thinking they'll save time, but they often end up gathering dust. Or worse, taking longer to clean than to use a knife. Now, I ask one question before keeping a kitchen tool. Would I use this every single week? If not, it goes. Simplifying your kitchen tools isn't about minimalism for the sake of it. It's about making it easier to cook, clean, and think clearly while doing both. 4. Over-decorating extras. There's a fine line between decorating and overcrowding. I used to rotate throw pillows, swap knickknacks, keep totes of seasonal accent pieces. But every time I tried to tidy up, I felt like I was managing a store display, not a home. Now, I choose pieces that feel calm, not loud. A few things I love. The rest? Let go. When your home has fewer visuals to compete with, it starts to breathe again. So do you. 5. Some day clothes I still decorate for holidays, but I don't need a dozen storage bins to do it. We used to haul boxes out of the basement every season. It took hours to unpack and repack, and honestly, we only used a fraction of it. Now I use just what fits in 1 small container. Lights, a few sentimental pieces, a wreath. That's enough to feel festive. Without creating a mess I dread cleaning up later. You don't need more stuff to celebrate more. You just need space to enjoy what matters. 6. Art in storage. There was a time I scrapbooked, knitted, painted, all in bursts. And every time I moved on, I kept the supplies just in case. But those bins took up space and whispered guilt. Every time I saw them, I thought, I should get back into that. But I never did. Now I let old hobbies stay in the past. If something really calls me again, I'll start fresh, with less stuff. Letting go isn't always dramatic. Sometimes, it just means choosing not to keep the extra, the backup, the maybe, the just in case. This list isn't about getting rid of things for the sake of it. It's about noticing what's actually helping and what's just adding noise. And here's what I've learned. Every time I removed 1 small layer of clutter, something else got easier. Cleaning, thinking, even deciding what to do next. If any part of this helped you breathe a little easier, feel free to like or subscribe. It tells me these quiet shifts matter, and I'll keep sharing more that actually work.